I just got my truck back from having the rear axle installed, and I'm gonna take this thing home, put my tail lights and everything all together. He replaced my ABS brake lines, and now my ABS light is on, as well as my emergency brake light, even though my emergency brake is not on. I don't have time for him to fuck around with it because I have to drive this thing 1,000 miles. I keep looking at my door like I've got a door mirror, trying to look behind me so I can see, but I've got no mirror. This thing has got either really stiff suspension or my shock absorbers are shit. I don't know which, but it's kind of a rough ride. And my cruise control also works. Oh, and according to him, you have to be in neutral in order to go to 4 low. But I don't know if I was in neutral when I tried to do that, or if I was in park. According to him, I keep checking to look and see behind me. I keep checking my damn door mirror, but I ain't got one. The garage that I got this from, I'm definitely not taking it back to him. It's obvious to see why nobody likes taking their cars to garages, because as far as I knew, there were no lights on the dashboard when I had the thing running myself. But now all of a sudden my ABS light and my e-brake light are both on, and he claims that they're tied into one another, and it didn't even bother to tell me that apparently this thing needs an ABS pump, whatever the hell that is. And he said, oh, I was lucky to get it bled out as much as I did. Okay. I'm sure glad that you waited until I called you after picking up my vehicle before you actually said something. So, yeah, I'll be going to somebody else next time. This thing also runs at 200 degrees as a normal temperature, so I might want to look into a thermostat as well. So the first step in removing your taillight is going to be to get yourself a Thompson head screwdriver. That's right, a Thompson head screwdriver. Why the hell did I say Thompson head screwdriver instead of saying a Phillips? Because Philip purchased the patent for the crosshead Thompson screwdriver from Thompson. Hence the reason I didn't say Philip, because Philip is the owner of the patent, not the inventor. If you have the issue where the taillight now won't come out, maybe follow the tailgate and go away from the vehicle. 2-finger pull. Should come out. Should be one of these little safety locking tabs. Push that down, go counterclockwise. Tab. Push that in and go counterclockwise. Push the tab in, counterclockwise. If you got a 99 Silverado or this generation of Silverado that looks like this, then you should have the 3157 bulbs, and there should be 3 of them. 1, 2, 3 on the driver's side, 1, 2, 3 on the passenger side. Again, that's brake, turn, reverse. In my particular case, I got on Scamazon and went and purchased some little LED replacement bulbs for them. And in this particular case, these are supposed to be 5,600 lumens. But buying 1 pair wasn't enough, so I went out and I bought 3. So I should have 15,000 lumens of lights pointed toward the jerk-off behind me with the side beams on. And I think, I'm not 100%, but I think these are between 3 and 500 lumens. And that's probably across all 3. But these are supposed to be 5,000 per pair. When you plug these things in, they may throw a code. May or may not. If they do make a little resistor of things that you can plug in between them to get it to stop throwing a code on your dashboard, getting that little MIL light. But we should be able to just plug these suckers in. And this, if I'm not mistaken, this should slot into here, which it does not. Can I push it down? Interesting. Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's got a little rubber seal that'll hold it in place. Now, one of my concerns, I might have to use a little bit of glue. I don't want this to pop out while I'm driving down the road. Hopefully. That's my reverse light. I'll hook up the others and we'll check and see brightness difference. They are significantly brighter. A lot more noticeable. Yellower and more amber. Huh. In some states that's illegal, so... What about the stock tail light and brake light? I don't know about you, but with the lights on, I didn't see much of a difference. Brake light, tail light, brake, brake, brake. We can check the brightness again tonight, just to make sure that there is actually a difference, but maybe it's not very noticeable in the daytime. Or maybe you have to be looking directly from behind. But I don't have a tripod, so I can't check that. Don't forget that the longest cable is going to go to the top of your tail light. The medium one is going to go to the middle, and the shortest one to the bottom. Don't get them confused, otherwise your turn signal will be coming on when you're turning your tail light on, or your reverse lights when you're hitting your brake light, and so on. In either event, don't forget to put your Thompson head screws back in. But what do I do with the good bulbs that I've taken out? Put them in your glove box just in case your new bulbs do burn out. You never know when a friend of yours may have a taillight that gets burned out, or you might see somebody at the Walmart parking lot or something like that who can't afford a new bulb or doesn't know that their bulb is out or something, and you can give them one of yours. Your license plate lights are located here, assuming you have a stock bumper, of course. If you have this little tow package bumper going across here, here's the license plate. I am underneath the passenger side of the vehicle. Follow this bar over. Right there is what you're going for. Again, all you have to do is grab it, rotate counterclockwise, and pull it out. The bulb that you remove should look similar to this. This is my replacement. It's just a giant LED that's going to go straight into it. This is called a T10. It just plugs straight in and straight out. There's no twisting or turning or any of that kind of crap, just in and out. These replacement bulbs that I've purchased actually have little indentations on their little electrodes, which makes it difficult to install and uninstall them, but it also helps to keep them from jiggling out once they are installed. So you may have to push a little hard to get these new ones in if your design looks like this. Reinstallation is just as simple as the uninstallation. You tuck it back up inside. Where are you? And clockwise twist. Now it's locked in place. Interestingly, only one of my lights is actually turning on. Headlight installation is actually easier than the tail lights. This is the passenger side headlight. Little bar here. Pull it toward you. Little bar here. Pull it toward you. Pull it up. Pull it up. Pull it out. Driver side. Pull the bar up. Pull the bar up. And out. Now with your tail lights, every bulb is exactly the same. However, in the headlights, you're going to have 9005 and 9006. Always, the inside light is your high beam. That's your 9005. The low beam is going to be the 9006 on the outside. Removal is exactly the same. Counterclockwise, pop, and pull it out. Counterclockwise, and out. Passenger side. Interesting. This one wanted to go clockwise to come out. Does this one also want to go clockwise? It does. On the passenger side, it's reverse. Your replacement bulbs, they look exactly the same. It says positive and negative. The 9005 to the 9006, you can't really tell the difference. I mean, you can't tell China shit, man. It's not like they listen. We try to tell them, hey, there's supposed to be a difference. They're like, why the hell is there supposed to be a difference? That doesn't make any sense. We ain't gonna get through to them. You see what I'm saying? It's probably the language barrier. That's who I'm gonna blame anyway. When you're trying to remove these, all you should have to do is pull up this little tab here. I'm just doing it with the side of my thumb. The low beams and the high beams actually come on at different times. So as you can see, only the high beams or the low beams come on at any particular time. So when you're actually clicking the stick that's on the steering column, you're choosing between the high beam and the low beam. However, there is a trick to get both of them to illuminate at the same time. Low beam, high beam, hold, let go. High beam, hold, let go. So as you saw, with the lights on, you can click the high beams on. Now, when they're already on, this doesn't work if you're going from low beam to high beam. This only works if you're going from high beam to low beam. You can hold the high beam button back, and we'll turn on the low beam and the high beam at the same time. Just don't drive around like that and be a jerk. Just a little trick that I taught myself. If you're ever driving around and there's deer running across the road, whatever, and you need just a little bit more light, low beam and high beam at the same time. But again, it only works if you're going from high beam to low beam. That's the only time you can activate both of them at the same time. Again, once you're done with your old bulbs, put them back inside the little case that you got your lights from. Put them inside your glove box. Hang on to those because you never know when you're going to need them. These are from China after all. Just like every damn thing that says made in America nowadays. Again, if you're buying some of these suckers and they're coming from China, it looks like the plug is actually reversible. It says positive on one side, negative on the other side. Again, if you plug it in one way and it doesn't work, unplug it, turn it around, and plug it in the other way. It's DC power. It's got to work one way or the other. If you do it both ways and it still don't work, but you know for a fact you're actually getting power to the switch, then you know this thing's bad. 99% of the time, they don't actually send you something that's broken. You just hook it up wrong or you damage something during installation. So always check that out first. Again, I know it makes no sense, but the higher number is the low beam. The lower number is the high beam. Probably the easiest way to remember it would be 9005 high beam. 5 high, 5 high, high 5. High, there you go. And I was able to get in the passenger side bulb because that headlight is actually broken. All this black plastic's broken. However, on this one, it doesn't want to go in, which means I'm going to have to get a Torx bit, go down in there in the headlight adjuster light that allows you to go up and down and left and right and all that kind of stuff. The low beam one, I'm going to have to actually open that one up, but there's nothing blocking the high beam one from going in and out. And in my particular case, it looks like it's a T15. If you don't have any Torx bits, it looks like you can use an Allen that is a 2.5. And because I need to move this, make this gap bigger, I need to move the black plastic all the way to the end of the screw, so I need to rotate this Torx bit clockwise. I believe you could also accomplish the same task without having to unadjust this and then put it back in and then readjust it again by removing this, these two screws right here. So as you can see here, this headlight is pretty stable while it's sitting inside there. However, this one wiggles. So I don't know if that's because the headlight's worn out. I don't know if that's because of the design of the Chinese headlights, whatever. I'm going to use my good old buddy Goop Glue. Give me a little bit of this stuff. This isn't like normal, this isn't like super glue or anything like that where it gets really hot as it dries. You don't have to worry about burning your fingers and all that kind of crap. I just want to put a little something on there just to keep the headlight from jiggling every time I hit a bump, because that's going to annoy the hell out of me, I already know. Assembly is the opposite of disassembly. Put the pins in. Now we just wait for nighttime so we can do final adjustments, make sure our headlights aren't pointed up or down or left or right or anything like that, and check the brightness. Because that's the whole damn reason we did this. Brighter headlights. But yeah, that'd be one of the next things that I fix is the headlights, because obviously with whatever the hell happened over here, the damage that was sustained hitting whatever the hell this was that messed that up for them to put tape on it, and the fact that this damn thing doesn't even sit in there anymore, so I can't even adjust that one, and this one's pointed up even though it's adjusted all the way. So hopefully I don't have to do very much night driving with it until I'm able to fix those. Alright, let's check and see how it all looks. And there you go. New bulbs for your truck.